Hi guys, where are you guys from? I've got the chat open so that we can talk. iPhone 2, where are you from? We're going to wait a few more minutes, let a couple more people come in, and then we'll start. Guys, what time is it here? We're going to give this a couple more minutes and then we'll start. iPhone 2, can you hear me? Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and start. This is going to be recorded. So if you miss anything or if anybody else comes on, I'll be able to send it to them. So I want to apologize for my scratchy throat. I had an allergic reaction on Sunday and my vocal cords are swollen. Um, if anybody wants to let me know where they're from, they can drop that in the chat. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I do have a team with me that's going to be dropping some links in the chat so that you can book appointment up with me. So I'm Nikki Huff. I've been a paramedic for 25 years. Thanks, iPhone too. Been a 25-year medic. I'm a grandma of four. I have a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old, and two 1-year-old grandkids. They keep me busy. I also have a culinary degree. So, what got me into real estate? I had a horrible experience with an agent. He was a police officer, and he used that against me as we're both first responders. And I let him list my house. And then after he got the contract, he told me he was not a buyer's agent. I ended up missing out on 3 showings on my house. I had to fire him, and my husband told me to go back to get my license, so that's what I did. After I had my license for about a year, I decided to stop working the truck. I only went to work in concerts, did some really big ones, Lost Lands, Sonic Temple. I also worked incarceration, so some really, really big concerts. And after that, once I went full time as a real estate agent, I really got to start going camping again and fishing. I ride side by sides. So I do all of that fun stuff. Hopefully some of you do the same things. Do any of you have fun hobbies? Put it in the chat. It's nice to see what everybody does. So it's enough about me. Buying a home can be stressful sometimes. Um, that's why I love doing it because after being a paramedic for so long, I saw everybody's bad days and I decided that I wanted to do something that was just as rewarding and getting people into their first homes or finding their forever homes is really fun. There's a lot of hurdles in the background that a lot of buyers don't see. Um, Sometimes people don't understand that the real estate contract's 16 pages long. You have to understand taxes, real estate law, all that boring stuff. Um, but it can get you in trouble. So you really need a real estate agent that knows what they're doing. So some things we're going to go over are the myths versus reality, explain some options, show you a plan, decide what's best, and make your dreams become a reality. My saying is from saving lives to changing lives, one home at a time. And I mean it. I go to bat for my buyers and sellers when I'm working for them. So right off the rip, I'm going to talk about my lenders because they're the ones that help us make deals happen. Without them, without their drive, um, we wouldn't get anywhere in real estate. So I have three lenders that I work really, really close with. I've got Ryan Colopy, I got Niska, and I've got Lauren. Her little tag is Lauren the Lender Girl. So we've got Ryan Colopy here. If anybody's been over in Easton, golfs around Columbus or something, you may have run into him because he's a avid golfer. Um, One story with him, with me getting a buyer into a house, which was awesome. Um, this kid come to me really young with a couple kids himself. He was renting a house and he's like, "Hey, my landlord's going to sell my house and I'm going to be homeless." It's like, "Well, why don't you buy your house if you want to stay there?" So we went to Ryan. We're like, "Ryan, this is the scenario." Come to find out, there was a garage in the back of the house and it had an apartment in it. And there was already somebody living there in Section 8. So this guy was able to buy the home that he was living in, and then he was able to use the income from that additional dwelling, is what we call it, the apartment above the garage, as income also because it was already a proven income base. So we got him into a house as a first-time home buyer with $62 in his bank account. And I don't know how we made it work out, but when we closed, he left the closing table with a $1,200 check. So don't ever discount yourself from buying a house. We can always overcome hurdles. We can always fix things. If any of you have any hurdles you want to talk about, go ahead and put them in the chat now, and I'll see if I can help you out with any of those. We're going to go on to the next lender, which is Niska. Niska's awesome. She's with Success Lending. Um, she's really great with people that are really nervous, um, really young buyers. She just got this way of talking to people. We have one right now that we're working together. We're supposed to close next Thursday. Um, this house needed significant repairs done so that we could go through with the type of loan that we were getting for this young lady. And it's kind of frustrating. Let me just stop and tell you it's frustrating. This house was a flip house. And not to bore you, but long story short, if somebody flips a house faster than 90 days before owning it, then we can't sell it on FHA. So we have to wait till 91 days. So we've been through all of that. We had a reinspection and found out they never did any of the repairs that requested. Like I said, we close next Thursday. So now we're on a timeline. I had to get pretty stern with the listing agent, tell her what she needed to do and how fast she needed to do it. So don't worry if you have something like that come up and you're working with me, we'll definitely get through it. Then I've got Lauren Dunn. Her favorite saying is don't FHA my VA, because if you're a VA buyer, um, it is not an FHA loan. We don't play by the same rules. Um, One of my huge stories with her, I was selling a house. I had a VA buyer come in. The appraiser came in and underappraised the house by $25,000. So we were like, what's going to happen? I'm like, listen, like, we're going to challenge this appraiser. So that's what we did. We called Tidewater. The appraiser said, absolutely not. It's not worth any more than that. So I went to the lender and I said, we need to take this directly to the VA. We need a reconsideration. And that lender had thought he had already done it. He didn't know that there was another step. So I helped the buyer, which was not my client, get a letter written. We went over all the comps. He signed the letter in ink because I drove it to his house. Then we gave all the information to his lender. The lender ended up sending all of that information into the VA. They finally gave us a reconsideration for the full amount that the contract was, and we closed on that house because we had to go over that appraiser's head. So there's always hurdles. Is anybody in here a veteran? Hopefully all of you are able to use the chat. My team's going to be dropping some links in the chat. So that if you want to schedule a one-on-one with me, you can. But guys, these are my lenders here. When we hear the words clear to close, it's an amazing thing because that's when we know that we're going to get that buyer or seller to the closing table and they're going to be able to either move into a new home or sell their home and the deal's done. So here's the steps to buying a home. Fannie Mae's got some great education things that you can go to online and research. Number one mistake people make regarding their credit is they don't know what their credit is. So I really, really encourage you guys to scan this QR code. It's going to take you to your free annual credit reports. You can get all three of them there for free. You can see every creditor that's on your credit, and just know that when they report something, it has to be reported the same on all three credit bureaus. And if not, we can challenge it and get it fixed and build your credit up that way. But I'm not going to bore you with that stuff. So your credit score, I know I said wasn't going to bore you guys, but they don't use your credit score off of Credit Karma. They do a tri-merge. It's completely different, and the lender that we use will go over all of that with you. That's not my specialty. So we got a conventional loan. If you're not a first-time home buyer, or if you want to buy something that needs a lot of work, that's where the conventional loan comes in. And then we got our FHA loans. These are government-backed loans. Um, a lot of first-time home buyers and stuff, they will use this product. USDA loans, a lot of your rural properties, we use this. You don't have to have any down payment with it. We just got to make sure that the house that you're looking at is in the area that's covered by USDA. One thing with the USDA loans, If it is a manufactured home, it has to be newer than a 2006, I believe, for it to work. OFA, OFA's my best friend. Um, I have a lot of first responders, police officers, teachers, all of our heroes. We can use this. Grants for grads. If you just graduated college, we can get you down payment assistance. There's grants out there for 3.5% closing cost. So if you think that you have to bring 20% to the table, no, you don't. You do not have to bring 20%. Sometimes we might even be able to get you into a house without bringing any money to the table if we ask the seller to pay for some closing costs and stuff like that. It is recommended, though, that you have some money in a savings account for at least 2 to 6 months worth of reserves in case you break your leg or something. You still need to pay your house payment. So this is just a recap on OFA. It really does make home ownership possible in Ohio. It's I probably use it like 95% of the time. If you guys have any questions about OFA, go ahead and just put one in the chat and I'll make sure that we can get you the link to book a call with me. That way we can go over that and see if we can help you get into a house that way. And then this is just if you're eligible. If your credit score is not there, all we got to do is work on it. So we got EMTs, nurses, state tested nurses even qualify for this. So don't discount yourself. If you think by any chance, well, actually, if you hold a license in the state of Ohio and I can get on the Ohio website and search your license, then you qualify for this. My VA loans, um, a lot of people have the myth that there's a certain credit score that you have to have. You don't have to have a credit score with the VA. Now, depending on what lender you go with, they might have some things called overlays and they may have a minimum credit score, but the VA does not. They really look at your where your debt is and where your income is, and they have different ways of calculating how much debt you have. It's pretty cool. Lauren, the lender girl who does all of my VA loans for me, um, she's amazing. She is very responsive, and we normally just do three-way chats with each other with our clients so that we all stay informed. It's really personable. This is just a little example um, of what it looks like on a breakdown when you're buying a house. Um, with the way this one's broke down, it shows that you would need $7,000 to come to the closing table, but we could have always asked for more money in the seller's concession. So some responsibilities of the buyer. Couple things. We always recommend home inspections, depending on where you're at, how big the house, stuff like that. If you're between $400 and $1,000, you do have to pay that, and that is non-refundable. So you'll have to have that money saved up. And then for the appraisal, I do have a lender, Niska, that at closing they will refund up to $650 of the appraisal cost. But you do have to pay for it out of pocket up front. And then you'll have to get your homeowner's insurance. And if you're in flood area, example, Lancaster, Ohio, a lot of those houses you wouldn't even think they were in a flood zone, and they are. I have this really awesome insurance guy out of California that can get me better deals than anybody here in Ohio can on flood insurance. A lot of times it's like $500 for a year. Does anybody have any questions right now? If you can throw them in the chat, I can answer some questions now. This page here, um, you see the two big no's, no credit cards, no personal loans. The only thing I want to throw in here, something that I just had happen and I didn't even know it was a thing. So Chime, Go-To Bank, and there's one more. They do not allow wires or cashier's checks. So we went to go to the closing table, and my client was like, I can't get a wire. My bank doesn't do them. So we had to get her a new bank account. We had to show that she transferred all of her funds from one bank to the other, that nobody gave her a gift or anything like that. It was a headache. Darlene, yes. Yes, I can get you everything by email. And if you want a private consultation, my team will throw the link in the chat again, and you can just get yourself on my schedule and we can do a one-on-one. So when you're going house hunting, I always like to tell my buyers, like, let's go do one showing. Like, if you don't have a pre-approval, I will go take you and show you a house, because then we can talk, we can get to know each other. We can pick the house apart. You can tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, what a deal breaker would be, or what your must-haves have to be. But any more than one house showing without a pre-approval, if you fall in love with your dream house and then you realize you can't get a loan for it, that's the most devastating thing. So we always got to get a pre-approval before we go house hunting after that first showing. So a lot of people go to banks, and this slide's going to be coming up. Um, I don't discriminate against anybody. But I always tell everybody, if you can stay away from your traditional bank when buying a home, you are better off. Even though they do offer some great deals like $25,000 um, towards your down payment and stuff, it's a rat race to get that because it only lasts for about 48 hours. Um, but when you go with a loan officer, they work nights, they work weekends, they work holidays. If we go to our traditional bank, they don't offer OFA loans. They don't work weekends. They won't answer their phone after 5. So if we are in a race to buy a house on a Saturday and we can't get a pre-approval letter for that house or something, we're going to lose out. So we need somebody that I can text and be like, hey, I need this for so and so, and they'll get it to me. So that's just something that we got to look at when we work together, who you want to use to do the financing. So the loan pre-approvals, at the end of this slideshow, I'll put the 10 commandments of buying a home up, which I think is a better slide than this. Um, it's crazy to think, because when people go buy houses, they get excited and they're like, well, I want to go buy my furniture and I want to go buy this. And then they rack up their credit cards, and when we go to close, they can't afford the house anymore because of their income or their debt to income. So we'll go over that in a little bit. Do any of you guys have any questions about lenders versus banks or anything like that? This is kind of what I said about the big banks. They do literally work 9 to 5. They take hour lunch breaks. Sometimes it's horrible. Sometimes there are people that do their loans for them, work in a different country, and that makes it really hard. So I see I have one of my new home reps in the audience. Um, Buying from a builder is amazing, but don't go without your agent. You need somebody that understands how new builds work. They're great options. They have killer interest rates. Um, my my rep that's here, some of her rates are like 3.99%, 4.99%. Um, they give thousands of dollars away towards closing costs and stuff like that. They have people that can help you with your credit. So don't ever count yourself out on a new home. Um, we can get it built from the dirt up, and you can pick all of your upgrades in the house. You can pick the elevation, which is the way it looks like on the outside. Um, so don't count yourself out when it comes to a new build, because sometimes you can get really, really good deals and you know it's brand new and they come with like 10-year warranties. Julie, do you want to tell everybody hi in the chat? You can't type. Hey team, can you unmute Julie? It's JG's phone. There you go, Julie.
Okay, I've been looking for the chat and stuff, and I cannot find it on my screen.
Oh no. Everybody, this is Julie. She's my new home rep for DR Horton. She's amazing.
Thank you.
You're out of North, correct?
Yes, that's
Yep.
where I just sit, but I can sell everywhere. So, of
I just wanted Julie to say hi to everybody. And thank you
Hi,
for being
guys.
with us.
Course.
I'm gonna have them mute you again.
Okay.
So, as a real estate agent, I work for you guys. So, even though Julie is absolutely amazing, you still need somebody on your side. She works for the builder. So, when we have good working relationships, at least we can get a deal done and make things happen and not have it blow up. It's great having a good relationship with them. So, here's a little bonus. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. I got this book. If you guys want to sign up, get on my calendar. I think my Friday and Saturdays says it's booked. But if you want to book on a different time, I'll reach out to you. Um, and we'll rearrange that because of the way my calendar is right now. I'm sorry about that. And here's the home inspections. This is what I was talking about with the deal with Niska and I right now. Um, we had a home inspection. We found some major problems. The main electric coming into this house had deteriorated rubber on it with exposed wires, like right up against the house. So there was roots in the sewer system, like in the sewer line. I pointed that out to him. So I'm like, hey, we want all these repairs. We want them fixed. This girl that's buying this house is 23 years old. She's single. She doesn't have the experience in remodeling and stuff like that. So it's my job to protect her as a buyer and make sure she's getting a safe house. So we've been going round and round for the last week on this because I sent my inspector back out to make sure they fixed everything that we requested. And we found out that that main power line, they cut a piece of plastic off of another wire and just put it on top of that. So from the ground, it looked like they fixed it, but they didn't. They literally fraudulently put it on a main power line that could burn her house down or electrocute somebody and kill them. So now I've told them that I want receipts from a licensed contractor. I want receipts from the licensed plumber. I want video of them cleaning the roots out of the sewer system. I want pictures of everything else that they did. And I'm sending AEP out to make sure that they did the line from the house to the pool because they've had over 45 days to fix this stuff and to fix it right, and they didn't. And I called her out on it. So now we're having a little bit of a pushback, but I will get it all fixed. And that if she would have skipped that inspection, she wouldn't have been able to go back after the seller after she bought it for those damages. And if the inspector misses something that's critical, if she didn't, like, we can always go back on an inspector if they miss something critical. So it's well worth the $500 or $600 that you spend. And if you didn't take anything away from getting an inspection, Your sewer line from your house to the street is one of the most expensive repairs that you can do. So if you buy a house, make sure you scope that sewer line and make sure it's clear and it's flowing right. Everybody thinks that's weird. But with all these flushable wipes nowadays, it is horrible. So, not using a full-time real estate agent. I don't knock any of my part-time agents because some of them are teachers, some of them are medics, EMTs, firefighters like I am. But when it comes to doing full-time real estate, when you're in it every single day, all day long, my day starts about 6:30 in the morning with text messages from agents and everybody else, and I go to about 10 o'clock at night every single day, 7 days a week. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday. So that's one of the things about having a full-time agent is we're always available for you. Do you guys have any questions about that right now? Is anybody renting here? Or is anybody on Section 8? You don't have to answer that in the chat. Just if you do, sign up for a one-on-one because there are some counties in Ohio, if you're on Section 8, that if you buy a home, they will pay your mortgage payment just like they're paying your rent. It's a newer program. Not many people know about it. So if you know anybody that has that, I think I text almost everybody that's in here today my phone number, so you can contact me directly also if you want to talk about that. So if you want to talk more about anything that we've went over right now, book a call with me. Um, if I didn't send you a personal text message today, you can also put that in the chat that I missed you, and I will follow up with you out of, because I have everybody's information. I can follow up with you that way later. Uh, get a hold of me. Let's get you pre-approved. If you can't get pre-approved right now, let's get you pre-approved in the next 6 months. We can fix your credit. We can fix most problems within 6 months. Darlene, you didn't see it. I'm going to write your name down. I will get a hold of you after the webinar is over, Darlene. If you guys want to scan these questions, if you have any other questions besides this, throw it in the chat and we'll have a little Q&A. The one that says, can I buy a house with no money down? Yes, you can. And when's the best time to buy a house? It was yesterday. A little bit about your credit scores too. Um, there are legitimate credit people out there that can help us get stuff removed off of your credit that shouldn't be there. Takes a little bit of work, takes about 6 months to do. But remember the credit score companies, they are private entities. They are private companies that have all of our information and they need to report it correctly so that they don't screw us up, screw us over when we're trying to buy something. Team, can you unmute her?
There you go. She should be able to unmute herself now.
Okay.
JG's phone, right?
No.
No, 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 no. I'm sorry.
Daniels.
Daniels. Oh,
Can you see
Darlene?
her?
I can see the. Oh, Daniels. Yes, right here. Terrain Daniels, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, she should be able to do it.
Can you unmute yourself? If you can't get unmuted, I'm going to write your name down and I'll get a hold of you after this. If you just want to throw a question in the chat, we can do that too. Gotcha. So guys, in Ohio, it's different than a lot of other states. I've been able to find people houses to buy with them only making about $65,000 a year. Um, it's hard, but it's doable, and you just got to be patient. But I'm willing to work with people that really want to be homeowners that don't think they can. And again, there's a link, there's a QR code if you're on your computer, or screenshot that QR code. And I've been told if you screenshot it and then you hold the QR code for like 3 seconds, it'll take you to the page. They've also put the link in the chat. So here's my favorite page. Because if you break these rules when you're buying a house, there's a chance that you're not going to get to the closing table. So make sure you don't lose your job. Don't tell your boss off. We can't get fired. Don't go buy a truck. Don't buy a car. Credit cards, don't use them while you're buying a house. Don't go buy furniture because you
Daniel,
don't own the house yet. Sometimes we don't even want you to put big chunks of money down on them in the process of buying a loan. We really just want you to leave them where they're at and just make your payment. Um, if you have a savings account, don't go spending that money either to buy furniture. Um, don't use anything on your credit because the law changed not too long ago, maybe 2 months ago. So the Klarna, the Afterpay, um, all those Amazon things where they say pay over 4 payments, they show up on your credit now. So make sure you don't do any of those while you're buying a house or right before you buy a house. Those get a lot of people in trouble. Um, Large deposits in your bank account. So if you have mattress money and you want to buy a house, make sure you put it in the bank in little increments over a long period of time, or otherwise they're going to make you show where that money come from. That's the other thing. If somebody gives you money, like a family member, put it in the bank, little increments at a time. Don't change your bank accounts unless you have a bank account that doesn't do wire transfers or cashier's checks. Just let us know up front that you have to change your bank. Your lender will probably let you know that you need to do that too. And don't co-sign for anybody because it's going to show up on your credit. So when we get to the closing table and you sign that loan in ink, when you leave there, don't buy anything for the next 2 or 3 days. Still wait 2 or 3 days. And that's all I have, guys. If you want to leave me a Google review, there's my QR code there. If you want all of my contact information, it's in the other one. I am a public notary, so if any of you guys want to reach out to me and you need a notary, I'm available. I've got an office in Newark that we can meet at. I live out by Buckeye Lake. I am a veteran housing advisor. Um, And I also do if you need to sell a house really, really fast. Um, I work with express offers where we can put the house, it's like a little back office where investors are at, and they do cash deals. So if we need to sell fast, we can plug it in there. I'm also certified in relocation. So if you know somebody that needs to be relocated by a corporate company, tell them not to do it on their own because they will leave a lot of money on the table. Corporate relocations cost about $100,000. And if you go doing it without an experienced agent, you could be losing a lot of money. Darlene, are you not from Ohio? I was gonna say, if anybody's not from Ohio, most of my lenders here can lend in a lot of states, especially Lauren. I think she can lend in almost every state. And with me being with EXP, we're in every single state and we're in 23 countries. So I can help you get hooked up with lenders in other countries, um, or other states. Make sure I vet that agent for you and make sure they're the right one for you. But guys, if you don't have any more questions, if you do have a question and you want to speak, all you gotta do is raise your hand and I'll have my team unmute you. If not, I'm gonna sign off, guys. Let you guys go enjoy your evening. Bye.